Okay, for a new year, we want to think about a verse, something to really grasp onto as a church community, to think about and learn from during the course of the year. And we have chosen a verse from Micah chapter 6, verse 8. And really, it's thinking about the question, what does God want? What does God really want from us, for us? And in this verse, what we have is this. O people, the Lord has told you what is good and what it is he requires of you, to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Okay, that's what the verse says. O people, the Lord has told you what is good and what it is he requires of you, to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. So this comes from an old part of the Bible. This is like 700 years before Jesus was born, and it's in a place called Judah. It's in a situation where everyone's pretty affluent, things are going really well, and in that situation, the people there really lost their sense of moral and spiritual kind of direction. So they were getting in a bit of a mess and forgetting really what it was all about to follow God. And they were kind of thinking everything was about a deal. You know, they were trading, they were successful, they were prosperous, and their attitude to God was almost like that, where they're basically saying, God, what do we need to do here to keep good with each other? Can we just strike a deal here? Can we sort things out so that you're happy? What do we need to do? How many sacrifices do you want? How often do we need to go to the temple? And God is saying into that situation, that's not what this is about. What I want is this, that you act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with me. And when he says that, he's basically saying that he wants them to love something called hesed, which is this really strong, committed, faithful love, and he wants them to do mishpat, which is the word that was all about justice and making a right measure, a right judgment, a decision to go the right way and do the right thing. And he's saying, I want you to do these two things, and the way you're going to do that is by walking humbly with me, acknowledging I'm God, you're not, and to walk in the ways that I'm leading you into, so that you then live and serve in this world in the right kind of way, acting justly, loving mercy, in the same way as God himself does. And so for us as Urban Life, what we're thinking is this. God's saying, he wants us to act with justice, to act justly, to love mercy, to have this strong kind of committed kindness, loyalty, faithfulness with the people around us and the situations we're in, to live in that kind of way, and to do that, to walk humbly with him step by step. There's an attitude here that he wants us to have, and it's going to come out of an attitude that says, God, I will walk with you, I will walk humbly with you where you want us to go. And this idea of walking is really interesting too, because basically it's just like an everyday thing, isn't it? You know, the whole idea of walking is that you're just kind of moving forward. It's not just about going to meetings or specific religious experiences. It's just about the everydayness of life, the stuff that you're doing every day, the places that you're going. You do it with God, and there's a great quotation from a guy called C.H. Spurgeon who lived 100 or so years ago about this, which we'll put on the blog separately. This is all about living our lives every day for God, living our lives in his power as we walk humbly with him, and he works through us so that we can act justly and love mercy and have an impact in our society in the way that he wants us to. So that's the verse for this year that we're going to be praying and remembering, and hopefully most of you have got one of these, which is got the verse on for us. You can stick it on your fridge or on your forehead or wherever you can best remember it. And we've also got one with the Spanish translation as well, if you want to get one of those. So we want this to be a prayer for this year. And so pray with us, and let's walk humbly with God and see what he does through us in this coming year.